more things come in to match that energy, because they like, she humble over there, he humble over there, let's give it all to him. So it's a full moon on crack, essentially. You're releasing anything that is holding you back, okay? They got to go, okay? You cleaning house. What's happening, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am excited because today we are talking about what we need to say bye Felicia to this lunar eclipse, full moon in Gemini. We got shit popping up on us on November 30th, okay? Now, before I get into it, it needs to be said that this is based off of tropical astrology. So if you follow sidereal astrology, this may not resonate as well to you, okay? So tropical astrology, as well as that this is a general reading. So I am not going to be personally going through sign by sign as I did in the last one to tell you specifically what house this is going to affect for you. But don't worry, I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I have a little quick thing at the end for you guys so that you can be aware of what house it actually is transiting for you personally. But I just won't be going through and talking about it. But don't worry, okay? But for future reference, if you do like it more when I go through each zodiac sign for these full moon and new moon readings, drop down right now and let me know one way or the other, and I will try to make that happen for you. I'm just really not feeling it, and I want to get this video out, so I just, you know, you gotta forgive your girl this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys what you came here to see. But first things first, if you are new here, hi, my name is Elle from Intuitive as Elle. I do pick a card, talk about astrology, and do other spiritually related videos. So if that's yours, just drop down, hit that subscribe button, and while you down there, you might well hit that bell button so YouTube lets you know stuff, so I can let you know stuff. Okay, all right. I will say it again, okay? So as is standard for a video of mine, as we talk about these transiting energies that are affecting us at this time, we're gonna peel this thing back layer by layer. We're gonna break it down so y'all understand exactly all the elements that are affecting us for this particular transit, i.e. this lunar eclipse, full moon in Gemini. We got shit popping up on us, okay? And I do have my handy dandy iPad, so if I am looking down, it's just because I'm trying to make sure I'm saying all the things that I'm trying to say. Don't worry about it. So the most obvious thing that is happening right now is that we have a full moon. And what is a full moon? Well, if you don't know, it is when the moon is full in the sky.
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Okay? I know y'all are like, what? This girl. Okay, it's when the moon is at 100% in illumination. It's when it's full in the sky. It's when it's at its most visible during the cycle that we got going on right here. And what that means is that when the moon is at 100% visibility or illumination, everything in our life is at 100% illumination / visibility. We see everything. This is the time for reflection because there is nothing no longer hidden. This is the time for reflection, reflecting on things, for completion, for clarity, for closure on certain things. Because like I said, all those hidden parts, the things that were moving and the little shadows in the background, we see it.
I see you. We good. Okay.
We good. I see. We see each other.
We see each other. We good.
So as it is a full moon and everything is completely illuminated, we're seeing everything for what it is, for the truth. This is a great time for you to release things that no longer are serving you before the new cycle, i.e. this new moon cycle, you know, new moon and then blah, 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 all the way to full moon, okay? This is a great time for us to release the things that are no longer serving us when a new moon is hitting us. It is also a great time for you to cleanse your space of low vibrations, and this is your actual physical space, the space around you, as well as your emotional space in you personally. You know, I don't even know why I phrased that like that, but either way it goes, this is a great time for cleansing this space in preparation for the new cycle. This is also a great time for you to celebrate any manifestations that you have received and give thanks to those things that you may have been trying to manifest for throughout this whole moon cycle. So new moons are about setting intentions, and full moons are actually about receiving said intentions, you know, receiving those manifestations and celebrating that fact. So if you had manifested during that new moon, I think it was in Scorpio, I think it was in Scorpio, I don't know. I think I had a video on it, okay? So don't beat me up. But for that new moon, the manifestations that you put out, the things that you wanted to bring into your life, the new beginnings, this full moon is the time to celebrate the completion of your hard work, or, you know, the seeds that you planted, even if you are not seeing those seeds. Because as we know, when you are grateful, more things come in to basically match that grateful energy. Like if you're waking up and you're saying, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful that, you know, blah, 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 blah. More things come in to match that energy, because they like, she humble over there, he humble over there. Let's give it all to him. So this is the time for you to be thankful for those things, those intentions that she planted. Now, I must say, the full moon is also a time of a lot of energy. If you know, everybody act crazy around the time of full moons.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And that's because energy is really at its highest. This is the time where we have a lot of high intentions and emotions, as well as clarity. Oftentimes, when things are illuminated, they are illuminated. So that makes everything very tense, very high strung and all that. So that energy may be affecting us. I would just say to use this energy, or make sure you're using this energy of the full moon to release yourself from everything that is weighing you down, okay? So on top of it being a full moon, this is a lunar eclipse. In fact, this is the first lunar eclipse of the last eclipse season of 2020. Okay, and when I say eclipse season, you know, you don't just typically have one eclipse. You have a lunar eclipse and then a solar eclipse, or a solar and then a, you know, we always get at the same time, and that's what we call an eclipse season. So this is the first lunar eclipse. The next new moon that's going to be coming is a solar eclipse, so watch out for that. I'll have a video up for that. But this is the first lunar eclipse. Now, if you don't know what a lunar eclipse is, this is when the earth is exactly placed between the sun and the moon.
What the hell we gonna do now?
That's not really that important for you to know. What is important for you to know is how those energies affect you. And how they affect you is essentially, a lunar eclipse is a more potent version of a full moon. So it's a full moon on crack, essentially. I probably shouldn't say that. Let's just say it's a full moon on steroids, okay? It's a full moon, she on 10. All right, the energies of full moon, they're gonna be exponentially higher this lunar eclipse. So the energy of a lunar eclipse is definitely feminine energy, as is the moon, but it's typically about connecting with your body, with your emotions, with your intuition, all that, okay? And the thing about eclipses in general are that they illuminate areas of our life. They bring everything to the front, okay, so that we can basically get rid of that crap, so that moving forward, we won't be weighed down from it. It really shines light on what no longer needs to be present with you moving forward. And it also shows you the things that you are holding on to too tightly and that you need to let go, because it is becoming a detriment to yourself, to your journey, to whatever is resonating with you. But it is holding you back from hitting your highest potential, for you showing up as your higher self in this lifetime. So as the moon rules over the zodiac sign of Cancer, as well as the 4th house, things that are attached to those things are really going to be coming into focus. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis on emotions, on home, on family. When I say family, this really more so specifically talks about your parents and your grandparents, but it just talks about your roots in general, your ancestors, ancestral cycles that you need to break. I blanked out on that. but it's really talking about things throughout your family cycle, or, you know, what's it called? I'm blanking out on it. I'm blanking, so we're just going to be blank with that. But basically, things, habits that you need to break, even generational curses. Thank you, it popped up. Generational curses that you need to break at this time. There's really an emphasis on that, as well as any intimate relationships that are, you know, essential to your life. There's really a focus on that. And the purpose for these eclipses are to basically reset your emotions and clear away any emotional baggage that may have built up over the last 6 months. It's really calling for you to connect with your shadow self, if you know what that is. It's also really pushing you to integrate with that shadow self and stop running from that shadow self, to respect that shadow self. So how do eclipses specifically affect you energetically? Well, on a physical level, you may really notice that at this time your energy is gonna be zapped. You are just not gonna have time for it energetically. You are not gonna be there. You're just really gonna feel lethargic. It's gonna mess with sleep patterns. It's gonna mess with your hormones. You might be irritable, grouchy, moody, and really just feel out of balance, okay? And I know the men ain't trying to hear this, so y'all can close your ears for like 10 seconds starting now. If you are a woman, you may notice something going on with your period. You may notice that you all of a sudden start bleeding out of nowhere. You may notice that you may start ovulating out of nowhere, and you might notice that you might be feeling those PMS symptoms a little bit harder during this time. On an emotional level, lunar eclipses, or eclipses really in general, they bring emotions to the forefront where you can't hide from it anymore. Like it puts it like, I'm here, who gonna check me, boo? Like it puts that, your emotions, in your face to the point where you cannot disregard it. So you may be really feeling emotionally sensitive during this time. Your thoughts may be feeling very sensitive. Your feelings are sensitive. Everything is sensitive. But the reason for this is for you to pinpoint where exactly things are affecting you. And so once again, you can push for this emotional reset as well as purging things that aren't serving you moving forward. Basically, you should be using this cosmic support to release emotions and all that crap that are holding you back. And on a soul level, lunar eclipses, or eclipses in general, typically are all about, well, anything really having to do with the moon is really about you working on and strengthening your intuition and your psychic abilities. If psychic abilities or the metaphysics or whatever resonates with you, this is a great time for you to do things to work on them and strengthen them. So in general, eclipses ask you to tune into your creativity or express yourself in a creative way. It allows you to do some releasing work, okay, some shadow work. It asks you to do a lot of self-care and to make sure that you are resting, as healing is actual work, okay? It takes a physical, like it manifests itself sometimes in physical ways, so you will feel tired. So this is the time where you need to make sure that you are getting plenty of rest. You're practicing a lot of self-care, love, visualizing healing white lights around you. And if you are somebody that is really into crystals, you want to work with some crystals that are really dealing with your higher chakras. So your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakra. If you don't know anything about that, I got a whole chakra series that is popping. So I'll leave that linked up top for you so you can go and check that out. But these are crystals that are going to be white, blue, pink, or purple, okay? Moving forward, the energy that we have surrounding us for this full moon lunar eclipse is in the zodiac sign of Geminis, okay? My adaptable, versatile Geminis. Now, if you do not know, Gemini is an air sign, and so this energy is really going to be bringing up mental activities and mental stimulation. It's all about the mind, okay? So Gemini is ruled over by the planet of Mercury, and Mercury governs over all things that is communication, intelligence, including technology, travel, and all that. Anytime that Gemini energy is in play and is interfering in things, it calls for a need for you to be adaptable and flexible, as Gemini is a mutable sign. And if you don't know what mutable is, I talked about it previously before, but I am going to do a video on it. But basically, we have signs that are cardinal, meaning that they get stuff shapopping. They are those initiators. They're the leaders that, you know, get ideas and they have the passion and draw you in. Then we have fixed signs, which are the energies that, or the zodiac signs that can carry a project to completion because they are stubborn. And then we have mutable signs, which mutable signs are those signs that are flexible and adaptable, and they are easily able to make changes. They're innovative. So if you know anything about natal charts or birth charts or astrology in general, when you hear about a Gemini, Geminis always are talking about duality. Like duality is always a big theme for Geminis. Like Geminis are the twins, okay? If you know a Gemini, you or a Gemini rising, you have probably thought of them as being bipolar as a mug, because it's like, dang, like they just all over the place. Like one day they like this and one day they like that. And it's because all Geminis in particular have certain dualities. They have this yin yang. They have, you know, good Gemini, bad Gemini. Like as far as, you know, it is what it is. There is a reason why most serial killers are Geminis.
Try it. With me if you want to. It's not a good day. Okay? Now back to that one. Steak in the table.
Well, and Scorpios. I ain't about to discount y'all. But it's because there really is this duality, this yin yang, this conflict of the mind when it comes to Geminis all the time. If you don't know mythology, I'm going to tell you the mythology really quickly behind a Gemini, because mythology always helped me understand the zodiac signs a little bit better as to what the symbolism was behind them. Essentially, in mythology, Jupiter is the Roman god, or Zeus if you are into Greek mythology like myself, so I'm gonna say Zeus. Okay, Zeus seduced, because if you know, you know, all right. He seduced this married woman who was the wife to, I think, the king of Sparta or whatever. Either way it goes, that's not really important. What is important is in this seduction, this joining of them, she ended up pregnant with 2 seeds. Now, according to mythology, those 2 seeds bore twins, but the thing was, one of the twins belonged to her actual human husband, while the other seed came from Zeus. The 2 twins were Pollux and Castor, if you've ever heard of them. They were complete opposites. Like one was smart and one was brawn. Okay, one was charismatic, one was not. One was, you know, like just think complete opposites in everything. And this all just stems from the fact that one was of Earth and one was not. So we typically look at Geminis, the twins, which are Pollux and Castor, as being dualities. One is of the seen and one is of the unseen. One is the personality, you know, i.e. the ego from Earth, whereas one is the soul from the etheric. You know what I'm saying? Like the emphasis was on duality. So anytime that Gemini energy is involved, it is a reminder that we are not just a physical body, but we are also a infinite soul. So just in general, this eclipse in particular is really going to affect our physical body as well as our astral etheric body. Sorry, I don't know why my throat. But at this time, more than anything, we're going to be conscious of the fact that our inner world, or how our inner world is affecting our outer physical world, the things that we can touch and feel. We're going to be more aware of that than anything else with this Gemini energy. So finally, we're going to get to this lunar eclipse, full moon in Gemini. But first things first, if you are seeing me, I'm seeing you, you hearing me, you feeling me, okay? And you have not liked, you have not subscribed, fam.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button!
You heard what she said.
Please stop playing in these streets and go ahead and like and go ahead and subscribe, okay? Okay, I ain't gonna harp on y'all too long. Just stop playing. Okay, so this lunar eclipse, full moon in Gemini, energetically, what does that mean for you? As I was saying before, the themes that are really going to be coming into focus now are things having to do with communication, transportation, short journeys, your siblings, maybe even your neighbors, depending on how close y'all are, and anything that is related to intelligence, learning, training, education, all that. This full moon in Gemini, there is going to be a need for mental stimulation, or you just gonna be bored. And as this is a full moon as well as a lunar eclipse, this is really the time for you to put to rest or throw out or say bye Felicia to these stale thoughts or put the past behind you, or anything that is holding you back, it's time to say shabbai to all that stuff, okay? Because the thing about Gemini or air signs in general are over the mind. And if you can learn anything from this video, it's that your mind shows you a reflection, or the state of your mind affects the physicality of your actual body. So if you can change the way you are thinking or perceiving, or anything having to do with a situation, you can change everything just with your mind, and people don't realize that crap. This energy is about opening yourself up to new ideas and exploring your options, looking at alternative ideas, and giving yourself the freedom to think about and even explore. I'm gonna challenge you to explore alternatives to things that you may not have even thought of as possible, or things that you could actually have an opportunity to do. This is the time for that. This is the time for you to really try to clear your mind by releasing any stories, whether this is actual stories that have happened to you in the past, whether these are stories that you are telling yourself in your head. You're releasing anything that is holding you back, okay? They got to go, okay? You cleaning house. This is the time for you to cut out overthinking and just focus on just being, just living, just receiving. If it is possible at this time, this is the time for you to really focus on balancing that ego side of yourself, or the ego of your human side. Ego comes from earthbound desires and stuff like that, or that fear which is rooted in the material realm, whereas the authentic soul is more so that safety and of knowing and comfort and protection and all of that energy. So you're going to need to balance those two sides at this time. Now, this is not the time for setting intentions, but with a full moon or a lunar eclipse, like I said, everything is illuminated at this time. So this is the time for you to think about stuff, for you to reflect on stuff, and maybe even start trying to make plans and try to figure out what little steps you can possibly take for you to reach this large goal, or a large goal that you have in your mind at this time. How can you get to the life that you want? This is the time for you to just think about, what steps you can possibly take, because mentally you are gonna be on it. This is gonna be a great time for you to sort through any ideas, finalize any plans, and make sure you are focused on things that are mentally good for you, as well as things that you are passionate about. And as Gemini is ruling over communication, whereas lunar energy is going to always bring emotional, things up, this is going to be a great time for you to communicate. You're going to be bomb diggity when it comes to communicating your feelings and knowing exactly what you are feeling. This is also going to be a great time for you to pinpoint how others are feeling and recognize and understanding why others are feeling the way they do. This is a great time for closure. This is a great time for talking, for understanding. You may want to talk about things that you have been keeping to yourself for the longest. You may also want to talk about things that you have never even thought of or considered thinking or talking about. This is the time for that. Pretty much everyone is going to be a better communicator at this time. You're really going to hone in and understand what people are meaning, why they're meaning it. You're going to be able to read between the lines, and you're just going to be able to be more supportive and there for somebody emotionally as it relates to connecting with that mental energy. Now, I wouldn't be me if I didn't give y'all a little warning, because we keep it surreal over here, okay? So with this abundance of Gemini energy, you are going to want to watch out for, and I'm just going to read this, okay? Nervous tensions, information overload, lack of discrimination, getting caught up in your head, rationalizing your unrational emotions, talking too much, scattering your energies, going into overdrive with chatter, flirting too much, okay? Getting too much information or receiving too much information, a lot of TMI at this time, being all over the place and spreading yourself too thin, and that's all that I have for that. But I really just want to say, I know that a lot of people don't like to meditate, And if you are somebody that feels like you cannot meditate, I have a whole video on meditating and simplifying it for you. That is called Meditation and Why You're Mucking It Up. I think I will link it up at the top. I think it's over here. I'll link it up at the top so you guys can go check that out. But it's basically simplifying meditation, but it really is a time for you to stop and for you to reflect and to meditate to calm yourself, okay? So overall, if I had to sum up this entire video, if you just were really confused as to what I was talking about, what needs to go this season? We got overthinking, that needs to go, okay? The dominance of your ego, that needs to go. Anything that is out of balance in your life, that needs to go. Anything that is causing emotional turmoil, that needs to go. Anything that you are feeling like you need closure on, that is what is needing to go. It needs to get.
Bye, Felicia.
This emotional lunar eclipse, full moon in Gemini. Now this was a general reading, but I don't like to leave you guys hanging, so I am going to go ahead and put up a chart that tells you the area of your life that this moon is technically affecting, where it might be illuminating some things for. I would suggest that you look at your sun, moon, and rising signs just to see. So we're just gonna go ahead and, but one thing that I want to tell you is that you are not confined to these areas of your life. If things are popping up and it's not in these areas that, you know, according to this list or whatever, you still need to follow what is resonating with you. And if something constantly is popping up, there is a need for you to take a look at that and purge that out of your life if you're noticing certain themes. This is just to give you an idea of what areas this moon may touch, but do not confine yourself to this list just in general. But that is all that I have for you guys at this time. Go ahead and give me a big thumbs up if this helped, if this resonated with you. Okay, go ahead and like, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what it is that you are hoping to release this eclipse season. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe, because that really helps me out. Hit that bell button while you're down there subscribing. Once again, I'm Elle from Intuitive as Elle, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.